And we're live! Hello, I am Anavultus, and welcome to another big podcast with my co-host here. Please introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. I am your host, the forever meme lord and eat master, Mourad, also known as the ultimate gay lord. At least, according to some people. I don't know.
Okay. Fair enough.
You'd be surprised what people say behind your back. And how much of it is actually accurate.
Yeah? People
really.
say a lot of things behind your back, apparently? Is that true?
It's more like YouTube comments. They're annoying and meaningless. People have bad days and they take out on the nigga that literally always takes it, you know what I'm saying? I don't really fight back because they already know they're miserable as fuck. And with my roasting ability, if I just boy their ass, they're just dead on point. They're like what I like to call the trolls. And by that I mean the actual other interpretation of the trolls. Sad, pathetic people who really just have nothing else. So if you just roast them once, they're like dead on impact. They're not fun to play with, so I just leave them alone.
Yeah, roast them.
Nah, that's just it. They're like people with diabetes sometimes. If you roast them once, or I guess in this situation, if you make them cry once, they just end it, you know? And I don't want that to happen. And I'm not kidding, that actually kind of happened once. Almost happened once, but I stopped it. Thank God.
Yeah, we wouldn't want that now, would we?
Well, when you have unlimited roasting ability and you can read people, there's not enough. You never run out of material to roast him about. So you know, but because he's so pathetic, he almost ends himself. You know what I mean? Like it's a pretty bad situation, but hey, you can always reverse the roast. At least in my opinion.
Yeah. Reverse.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah.
Kind of reversed the roast. Wait, what the hell? Ah, damn it! My computer's on the fritz. Give me a second.
All right. I'm hearing some loud knocking.
Oh, yeah, that's actually construction.
Oh.
Well, not really construction. Listen, I have no clue, man. These people are just on cocaine all the time. And I'm not even lying, because they keep doing this stuff either at 3 a.m. or when it's thunderclouds outside. You think that's the opposite of what they should do, but yeah, these people are like superhuman outside my house. Not even kidding. I'm not even joking. They literally are the construction geniuses, or retards, depending on which way you look at it. They're either OP with their construction, or they pick the worst times. I'm not even sure if they're glutton for punishment or just weird. It's usually both.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, yeah. I'm always ready to throw hands, as they say.
Like physically or mentally?
Physically. Yeah, I'm always ready for a good fight. Nice little tussle, maybe some banter as well. Yeah. Just,
I can relate. I'm always down, but mine is always mental because I don't want to get my ass beat literally and physically, so I'm just like I go mental style. But I also beat everyone's ass when it's like that, so I don't know. Oranges to apples comparison. You know, you either beat my ass or I beat yours. There's really no comparison sometimes.
Yeah, apples, oranges, and pears.
I don't understand the reference.
Well, oranges to apples, oranges, and pears as well. Do you like pears? I think they're good fruit.
I like all the damn fruits, my boy. I like all the fruits. Vegetarian to the end.
You're a vegetarian?
Even though half of my actual diet is either sugar, meats, or a little bit of speed. I don't know. It's usually one or the other.
Wait, then how do you call yourself a vegetarian?
That. You see, I don't really eat meat as in meat like kill the animals themselves. I eat maybe a little bit of chicken because it's chicken, man. You gotta have the nuggets. Or chicken tendies. You can never just say no. So that, but besides that and stuff we have for religious reasons, like the sacrifice thing, I don't really eat any other meat, you know? Like, I'm good. So everything else is either sugar, because why the hell not, and vegetarian stuff. Like, you know, we got all the good Chinese style, stuff here, like them noodles, them ramens, them takoyakis, them literal, like, vegetarian stews that are like for 5 people, but we somehow eat them all at once.
Yeah, so now that we're on the topic of food, and the fact that you mentioned chicken tendies. Let me
Yeah,
tell you, okay?
your boy knows how to segue into the
Okay.
topics.
Yeah, let me tell you about a recent meal I had, because I don't know if everybody out there knows this, but in the United States, there's a holiday called Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I know, I know.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
had that a little while ago. I kind of I like to have. We actually have something called reverse Thanksgiving, which is kind of fun. It's Ramadan. You know what that is?
What?
It's Ramadan. You know what that is?
Oh,
Like the
Ramadan.
holiday.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know
it's
what that
I
is.
like to call it the reverse Thanksgiving. You know, where it's less that you're thankful for everything you have, and more like we kind of like sympathize. We're not necessarily feel sorry because we can always help the homies, right? By homies, I mean the homeless people who don't have food. You know, you sympathize with them. You kind of like, I got you. There are two things you do. You either spend 30 days not eating anything, right? Well, you'll die, but like you don't eat anything for 12 hours to 14 hours every day for a month, right?
Yeah, not in the daytime. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Or you like give food to 1,000 people or something like that.
yeah. But anyway, as I was saying, so I got together with some relatives, and this wasn't the Thanksgiving meal, but it was on Thanksgiving week. So we decided to I have some relatives, and we get together periodically to have a meal together and catch up on how things are going in the hood, and that's always
Of
fun.
course.
Yeah.
Of course. It sounds like fun. We actually do have that, but instead of like what the hell did I like to call it? All right, instead of it being specifically like 1 week, we kind of do that monthly, all
Well,
year round
it's not
for the rest
a
of the
week
universe.
thing. I'm just saying it happened in the same week as Thanksgiving. I'm not saying it's
Oh,
a
all right, all
weekly
right.
holiday. No,
Yeah.
but
Okay, you good, you good.
okay. So we got together and we decided to go to a restaurant to eat. So we went to a place called Cracker Barrel, and it's a restaurant that has a sort of old timey feel to it. So it's got decorations based on things in the early American 20th century. So we went there, and they have a lot of classic what people would call American food, or Southern food specifically in the United States. So they have a number of food like that. However, on that day, since it was coming up to Thanksgiving, we all looked at the menu and we saw that there was something very special on it. Okay, you want to take a guess on what it is?
Okay, it's either couscous, chicken tendies, or some parmesan or something. I would have hoped for takoyaki. That sounds delicious.
Okay, so
Or tacos,
with
maybe
chicken
Chipotle.
tendies, okay, you're halfway there. What they had was fried turkey.
Oh yeah, I think I might have had that or heard of it or
Yeah.
probably made it myself because I like to eat. Yeah,
So
so yeah.
yes, I don't know if you have that many over there. I know that in Italy there's people that grow them. I don't know about Morocco though. But anyway, turkeys. Uh, it was a turkey fillet, as in a large piece of turkey meat that was then deep fried like a chicken tendy. And man, that was an interesting thing to eat, to say the least. It was very good. I do have to say that they did prepare it very well. Now, of course, the batter they used, you got to watch out, because a lot of times, a lot of food that is deep fried has a lot of salt in it,
Oh yes.
in the
Them
batter that's
salty
used.
boys.
Yeah, some salty boys for salty noise. But
Funny
that's
thing is, funny
yeah.
thing is, I'm not sure if this is like specific or just I'm good at it, but like ever since my first Ramadan, right? I've always like, well, not really had a craving for some salty boys. Like you gotta have the McDonald's fries, and I'm saying those are real fries. Like we have the real fries in here, man. If they put cocaine on it, I'm not surprised. Like literally, because they're so good and salty. But here's the thing, I eat a lot of salty food, right? But I never get thirsty, like ever. Like I've never had that. It was so weird for the first like month or two. It was the most hilarious experience ever. Actually, went like thirsty for like 2 days straight because I was like I wasn't needing any water, right? Until started drying up, like I was getting old as hell. So I was like, what the hell? I didn't put a gap in my age, did I? Because sometimes you hit that plateau where like 18 all the time, and then you just become 70, like with your looks, right? So I hit that plateau real hard. I got scared shitless, and then I actually started drinking water again. And it was the most hilarious experience because after I drank like the first like 3 to 4 gallons of water straight, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I could actually hold that in because didn't have any water for like 2 straight days, so I needed that much water just to balance it out. It's not like I got like it was enough water and then stopped because you actually do need that much water if you're running low. It's like blood. If you run over the lower amount, you need like donations and stuff to get it back online. And it was the most hilarious thing ever, man. It's like regeneration. It was funny as fuck. I thought I hit a backwards switch on my aging. I went from wrinkly to young again. I was like, did this nigga flip a switch on my ass? What the hell is going on this weekend? It was the most funniest weekend I've ever seen. And I slept for like 70 straight hours after that. It was funny, man. So I've done this some crazy shit to you, man. You should try it out.
Yeah. So I heard you had a birthday, maybe?
Oh, yeah. It's on like 1 day. I don't know, man. Listen, this is what happens, right? When you're born on the 12 o'clock at midnight. They don't know if it's like the day before or the day after. Because Labor Day, it was like the day before. And then your birth was like the day after, like 2 a.m. So they kept fucking up my birthdays. So I got like 2, technically. Well, not really. I got like 1 birthday cake a year. But it's like 2 days, you know? Like you celebrate them in 2 days because either or. So yeah, I got in 2 days. It's tomorrow and then tomorrow is tomorrow, I guess. So it's like Sunday and then Monday. For me, at least. For me, from where time zone is.
Yeah.
What day is it at your place? Like still Saturday?
Yes, it is Saturday. It's
Great,
actually noon. Just straight up noon right now.
For me, it's like 5 o'clock. Not at the morning. It's at night, like 5 o'clock at night or evening.
Yeah.
Depending on which time zone. So but, yeah, it's like in 10 hours, give or take, the birthday.
But since it was your birthday, do you want me to whistle you a little tune?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have any requests?
Not really.
No special.
I was gonna pick the Rick Astley memes, you know, but I don't know if you can do that on a kazoo, maybe.
Well, no. I'm using my mouth to whistle, so we're gonna see whether or not it works. Okay. Let me just get the mic really close to my mouth.
God damn it.
You can't. I tried it, but you actually can't hear it when I lick the mic.
Yeah, I heard it, and
you did?
Yes, ASMR has gone downhill nowadays.
Did you hear that?
Hear what?
Okay, yeah, you can't hear it. Just telling you. And now my tongue is really really weird. But anyway.
Pause on that. I told you, man. I told you before we started recording, we're gonna have some embarrassing moments we talk about after this, and this is one of them.
Okay, but the teeth do work.
Yes.
But yes, I'm not gonna whistle with my teeth. Okay.
Thank God.
So let's see. We're gonna say. Okay, so I didn't play the whole tune. I just did some selections out of it. What did you think?
Yeah, it was pretty good. I was merely rocking the entire time, so you know.
Yeah. Do you know any other interesting tunes that I might whistle?
I don't know. Besides maybe Persona 5, I like that music.
Oh man, I don't know that one, but.
Yeah. Ah yes. Yeah, I got one question for you, fam.
Yeah.
My computer is on crack, and I kind of need to fix this, or my OCD is gonna kill me.
Okay.
My sound thing that you have on computers is gone. Like the thing that tells you your volume of the sound is gone. Like what the hell? It happened when I clicked record, and now I can't find it. It was really weird. Got any
Okay.
recommendations on how to fix it? If
I have
not,
no
I'll
idea.
just do it afterwards.
I have
All
no
right, I'll
idea. I'd
just
have to
fix it
see it, but no,
afterwards.
I don't know. Okay. So you want me to mute you for a second here? Okay, well, we'll do
Sure.
that. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I've muted that lad, and today, I guess since I started whistling, I'm going to whistle something else. But this is going to be a really edgy tune. 10 points for those who recognize it. 100 points for those who don't report this to YouTube. We're going to make something really edgy here. So let's see. Please don't ban me, YouTube. Please don't ban me. Hello? I just unmuted you now.
All right. So can I guess what the hell that was? I guess.
Yeah, you can guess.
All right. Is it the like Soviet Union theme? I guess.
Oh no, it's a lot edgier than that.
Okay, some edgier stuff. All right.
Yeah. Do you know what's edgier than the Soviet Union's? I can also do the Soviet Union's one, which is the same as Russia's one today, but the same tune anyway. The words are different. But anyway,
Thank God.
this was the national anthem of. I don't want to say it because I want chat to maybe say it in chat. I know there's a couple of you out there watching. Please, boss, say it in chat. So we're gonna leave that on the back burner. If somebody says it in chat, I'll point it out. But for now, I'm not going to reveal.
All right. I fixed my
their
microphone
identity.
thing.
Yeah, you fixed your microphone? Great.
Yeah, you almost made my ears start bleeding with your damn whistling.
Yeah.
And yeah, I fixed it. It wasn't really your fault. No, it won't work this time, fam. We good.
Okay.
You see, the problem with the voice thing was it was on 100% max.
Oh,
That's
snap.
why my ears started to hurt.
Oh,
And I
no,
couldn't
I'm
put it down
really
because it
sorry
didn't
now.
find the
I
settings,
feel really
so
bad.
I kind of screwed my computer over to get it. And now you're on mute. Well, not really. You're on like really low volume. That should help.
Yeah. You like some of this? You like that?
The cringiest stuff, man. The cringiest stuff on the universe.
Yeah. I like making some interesting sounds. I always
I can tell.
Yeah,
I really
sound
can
effects.
tell.
For example, you like that? That's my chair. I need a new one, but I don't have any money. Please donate on Patreon.
Same here.
No.
Same here. I really do need
Yeah.
this one. I had this one for 17 years, fam. Can I switch, please, for the love of God?
No, what I really need, I'm fine with my chair being squeaky. What I really need is to upgrade my computer because it's gotten to a point where it crashes all the time, and I can't really stream any games off of it because
here,
it
man.
doesn't have the processing power for it. Yeah, so
Same here. I mean, the funny thing is with mine, my television, or I guess screen that I use for my computer costs twice as much as my own computer. And it's not even that much. It's just $15. Like, my screen is $15. My computer is like $7. I'm not sure if that's very lucky or very sad. like you got a low price, but also is a reflection of performance, and then now I can tell. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, pretty weak ass computer. I have to say. I mean, I do fine with it, but I have to like adjust. By that I mean I can't play any of the games I want to play. I can only play 8-bit stuff because my hard drive sucks.
8-bit.
And yes, 8 bits.
Give an example.
Like Shovel Knight.
Shovel Knight. Okay.
Yeah.
You like Shovel Knight?
Yeah. Let's be real. It's like the only game I can play right now. I mean, I've tried playing some other stuff, like the new Pokemon game, you know what I'm saying? But, like, I can't play any of them, even though I know how to emulate all of the shits in my computer. It's because the hard drive can't take it. I actually tried to upgrade it once, but my computer was so trash, it couldn't accept the upgrade. It was too weak to handle.
So I've never played Shovel Knight, but I'm going to guess what it's about. Shovel Knight is a game about a knight who uses a shovel.
That sounds accurate, yes.
Yeah, there you go. I'm the genius here. I can hear words and can understand their meaning and their origin and the context as well as the diatribe.
You know what's sad about that?
Yeah.
Nowadays, that is considered to be a genius because half people can't even do that.
Oh no, that's pretty bad.
Yeah. It's the same thing with the Fortnite, man. If this generation is this like screechy online, then yeah, we're just fucked.
Man.
I mean, they aren't even using the Pepe meme correctly. That's the sad part. If they were just reading the entire time, just yeeting all the time, that would at least be relatable or funny. But nah, just like the Fortnite dance, it kind of kills itself by itself.
Yeah, I kind of hate the Fortnite dances, and the reason is I do martial arts, and a lot of children do martial arts as well. A lot of parents think it's a great thing for the children to do, and it is. But there's these kids, and they play Fortnite, and then I'm trying to have a serious time doing this martial arts, and then suddenly, out of the blue, I see this kid in the corner of my eye, and he's doing a Fortnite dance, and we're in the middle of training, and he just stops what he's doing, and he does a Fortnite dance, and I'm triggered.
He's triggered. I'm out.
What? Did I say something? Okay, I muted him. We're not going to talk about that anymore. But I'm going to say Thanksgiving meal was great. Not the one at the restaurant, the actual one I had at home. Had some stuffing. Okay, if you use dressing instead of stuffing, there's something wrong with you. I'm not going to lie. Stuffing is the obviously superior choice in when making a Thanksgiving meal. And you may say, but what if the stuffing drains all the moisture from the turkey? Well, you would say that if you didn't know how to cook, okay? Because if you know how to cook, that is not a problem. That's not a problem at all if you know how to cook. You don't need dressing. You put the stuffing in the turkey, and if you know how to cook, the turkey will stay moist. If you're terrible, then you don't put the stuffing in, you just put the dressing on it. And you know what? That's nasty. Well, it's not nasty tasting. I'm just saying that it's...
I can never leave you alone, can I?
Well, I was having a bit of a discussion about what people eat for Thanksgiving.
The commenters? Because that's my kind of discussion.
Well, yeah, I would if the commenters actually commented, but no, they're just... inactive viewers.
No, they just don't want to roast our asses. I'm pretty sure that's the case.
Yeah, maybe they're really tough. Maybe when I say fight me in real life, maybe they're this. Maybe it's Chuck Norris, Bruce Lee, Jet Li, Jackie Chan. It's all those lads, and they're all going to fight me. And what am I going to do? Maybe I could beat one of them, but not all four of them. Yeah.
How good are you if you can beat one of them? Like, which one? Which one are you going to beat? Like, Chuck Norris? Probably.
Well, Jackie I'm not going to say it's easy. I'm not saying it's no difficulty beating. I'm saying that I have the strength and the skill to beat potentially one of them. And by that I mean, you reach a point where you could, in theory, beat anyone. However, whether that's going to happen in a fight is not going to be easy to be determined, because some people are a lot more difficult to beat. You may be able to catch someone off guard, and holy cannoli, my Skype call went down. You may be able to beat someone off guard, and if you do get someone off guard, you can beat them. I could beat Chuck Norris if I got the drop on him, but man, is there something wrong with his internet? Anyway, I'll continue on. I could beat any one of these guys if I got the drop on them. I can break people's bones by kicking them. I don't even have to I don't even need a run up to do that. But if they get the drop on me, of course they could beat me. So it's all about the initiative and who hits first, and who does the good moves. Because I'm not going to say that I'm a mediocre martial artist, because I'm not. I'm actually pretty good. But of course, these people are also very good, and they probably have a lot better physique than I do. So they're probably going to have advantages in fights against me. But that being said, that doesn't mean that I will be unable to defeat them if I get the drop on them. So that's what I was saying. But I think that he actually lost his internet, because oh no, there he is. Okay, the PC crashed. Okay, we're running solo. We're riding alone. The show must go on. Maybe not. Maybe I'm a super duper duper man, macho man. I want to be a macho man, but maybe there's too much machismo here. Maybe we need more autismo. Well, no, probably not. I wonder. That's something interesting to think about. Is there a cure for autism? That's an interesting thing to think. I'm not saying that there is. I'm just saying, what if there were? That would be interesting, because a lot of people put autism on a pedestal, and that being said, there are certain qualities that certain individuals with autism have that maybe lead them to have advantages in certain aspects. However, in general, it is a disability, and in many cases, there's a lot of people who have some severe autism that leads to some severe disability, and they can't really live a life that is normally fulfilling. But that being said, how would you even go about curing something like autism? Because as I understand it, it has to do with how the brain develops. So it would maybe involve somehow doing genetic therapy, gene therapy. That might be some way to maybe do it. Now, of course, doing gene therapy is something that is very difficult. The technology isn't very good. However, I do believe that genetic modification is the way of the future. Okay, it is the real path that humanity is going to have to go down at one point. I know that there's a lot of people who don't like it. A lot of people who think that it might be a bad path for humanity to go down. But I think that it is indeed the right path that humanity will eventually have to take. And why do I say that? Well, the reason I say that is it has to do with genetics. So in our lives, there are many different things that cause mutations in our genes. And a lot of these things are natural. There may be an encoding error in the genetic code when it is being transferred by the RNA. But that being said, as DNA is indeed a genetic information. It is a good way to think about it is information. It is a program. So what we have when we end up in a situation where there's someone who let me just call my bro up here. When we are in a situation where someone is mutating, that is the information taking a change. Now, of course, in modern society, there's a lot more mutagens in the world. There's a lot more things that can mutate your genes, and this will eventually lead to problems down the line, as it already has in some respects. So a good way to think about it is you have a book in a Word document, and it's maybe not a perfect... Yeah, I can hear you. And it's maybe not a perfect... I'm just finishing my thought. Maybe it's not a perfectly written book. It's got some errors in it, but you're making random changes to it. And in many cases, these changes will maybe damage something, or perhaps change something that maybe doesn't damage the message of a book, but perhaps makes it easier for later change to damage it. And eventually, we are going to see a trend where, as you go through different generations of copies of these books where these random changes have been made, eventually you reach a point where... I need to mute this for a second. Eventually, you reach a point where the changes that are made lead to a situation where there's a decay, and where eventually humanity, and not just humanity, but other organisms, will reach a point where, genetically speaking, the viability drops down generation by generation. And because of this, humanity will need to go through genetic manipulation of some sort, because we are in a situation where there is a right way for your genes to be organized, and there is a wrong way for your genes to be organized, and we want to make sure that humanity will survive. No, I'm not talking about gene splicing. I'm talking about the opposite of eugenics. I need to remember what it's called, but I'm just saying that I think that in many generations, the human genome will generally deteriorate, and therefore genetic modification is necessary for the preservation of humanity.
I mean, that's probably the case. You ain't even lying there, man. I mean, I kind of agree with your point. I just have different versions of it.
Yeah?
A little bit. Like, not that much of a different version, just more of a Deus Ex Human Revolution kind of way.
Okay.
You play the game?
No, I haven't. I haven't played that game.
Me neither, but it's kind of like the same thing, you know? Like, kind of... By the way, damn, the cringy stuff is coming out. Pause. My computer crashed, right? That was hilarious, man. I can't even believe that happened. I was midway through my sentence, and then you started glitching. I thought maybe the voice chip got screwed or something, right? And then, guess what happened? The computer said, hey... It literally wrote a text, like, for rebooting the computer, and one of the texts said, bye, nigga. It was funny. It's like, bye, and then the computer just rebooted itself. It was funny, man.
Yeah, it's weird.
I had to go to your live stream just to tell you, because I needed, like, 10 minutes to reorganize the shits. And yeah, now I'm just trying to undo the corrupted files so we can have the good-ass roasting session, the first 15 minutes of our video. Yeah, trying to get that back. And now I'm just kind of dealing with my camera glitching up because it's showing some embarrassing content that I'd rather not show to the public.
Ooh, embarrassing content.
Nah, you see, I'm watching some ponytail fan fiction.
Oh, some nice fan fiction. Hmm?
Oh, god damn it. Why am I so open with this bullshit?
Yeah.
Sometimes it really be like this. You just kind of open casually to whatever a nigga says. Like, if you ask questions, I'm going to answer them.
Yeah. If people out there in the audience want to write fan fiction, I'm happy to read it.
Listen. What I got to say about that is go ahead and then email your homie right here so he can read your content. I'm always looking for new stories because I do suck up the content like I suck up the spicy memes.
Yeah? You suck the memes up?
It only takes me a second, and it's 1 week per meme, so, you know, can always run out of content, you know what I'm saying? This is what happens when you have the neat lifestyle, you know? Like, you just suck up everything. Pause on that.
All right.
Because it
Pause.
really be like that. You literally watch like 17 seasons of a show in 5 minutes. It's not physically possible, but I somehow do it. I don't know how.
Yeah, you gotta get those fresh memes.
Yeah.
I like memes. Recently, speaking about shows and watching shows, I've been watching One Piece.
Ah, yes. Where are you at, fam? Because I'm caught up. But
I'm
that's
not.
only
I just got
because I
past
spent like
episode
17 years
100, so
watching it.
I'm way back.
Where are you at exactly? Because I need the details so I can spoil you rightfully.
Don't worry, I read the wiki.
Yes.
No, I'm at episode. I just got past 100, so we're in Alabasta.
So you're way behind, man.
Yeah, way behind.
You're
But
with that crocodile looking nigga, the weakest, the weakest Logia type I've ever seen.
yeah, no,
That nigga just gets his ass beat. It's kind of embarrassing. It's funny.
Yeah,
It's funny, kind of embarrassing. He's that kind of guy that even I can kick the shit out of if I found him outside the house.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, he's a Logia type. That's decent. But he's a Sandman. And just like the real Sandman from Spider-Man, all you need is a little bit of water juice, and then you just destroy them cheeks.
But doesn't he eventually merge with some other villain and become Mudman or something in Spider-Man? The Sandman.
But unlike the actual Sandman, Crocodile Ass is weak, so he didn't even think of doing that. You know, like, he's still weak, you know what I'm saying? I mean, Shocker, the guy who's literally on the damn moon, is still better than his ass. And that guy was made out of lightning that Luffy can beat easily because he's rubber. So not even that guy was a better villain, because at least a little bit of observation hockey, you know? At least a little bit of an OP nigga, but nah.
Yeah, I'm not even at the point where they've got hockey yet, but...
Well, yeah, but they do sprinkle it a little bit in, you know? Like, I would suggest, because you know hockey already exists, you should watch the show carefully and see which character uses it. Because Garp, the Luffy's grandfather, does have it. He just never told them. That's how he keeps beating their ass.
Yeah, Garp the Carp.
And I'm telling you, man, every parent ever in the universe has hockey, and they just don't tell their kids. They just use it to beat their ass first, and then they tell them they have it. It was very relatable to me, you know, because they will beat your ass like they somehow have the ability to do. You know, like, it was relatable because even when you don't got rubber, sometimes you think you're untouchable, and then your parent shows up. He beats your ass like that's not even a complication. There's no such thing as Logia attacks for him. He just beats everybody's ass.
You just come in and you start throwing hands.
And destroying them chiefs, yes. The two most favorite parts. And the funny thing is, he does it to make you stronger and do chores around the house. The right way to beat someone's ass. Or a kid's ass, I guess. I don't know. I mean, that's how I would do it. Not necessarily child abuse, but like, I'm gonna whoop you into shape, both figuratively and literally, nigga, because that's how it works.
Would you abuse your children?
No, 100% no. But it depends on what type. If you're saying I'm gonna whoop the ass to get him to do the house chores, then yes.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, to be honest.
I mean, I'm not even whooping the ass. I'm just doing it the Garp way. Scaring the shit out of him and telling him, hey, you either do this or 300 push-ups every day, nigga. I'm gonna turn you into the One Punch Man if this doesn't work out. Because it's like an ultimatum. You either do the chores or you become One Punch Man. Which one do you want? So the kid never loses. He just chooses one, you know? You either do the chores rightfully and you don't get your ass beat, or you get your ass beat and get stronger in the end, you know? It works.
Yeah.
Because unlike child beaters, I don't beat my kid. I just tell him, hey, we're going to do some intense training that will probably make you puke for the first 3 months. But then when you get used to it, it'll be fun anyway. So it's either that or let the housewife do the chores. It's not sexist. It's just usually that's what they do here for some weird-ass reason. They're still a little bit behind on the
some
women's act thing.
Some intense training. Like, I once kicked a tree stump and it uprooted the whole tree. Did
you hit it very specifically? It's like power points in the human body. Or pressure points, more accurately. If you hit it in the right spot, it just collapses. You don't even need strength for that.
Yeah,
I can do that if I just hit it correctly enough.
Well, but it does take the technique. You need to practice a good technique.
Practice, my nigga. The tree hugging is a real thing, and we do that both by hugging the trees and beating their ass.
You
But
hug the tree?
hey,
Yeah.
yes, I am a tree hugger, but it
Yeah.
depends on what type of tree. It
Would
depends
you
on what type
hug
of tree.
a tree that has thorns on it?
Yes, if it gives me enough shade in the Sahara Desert, then yes, it saves my ass. I give it a hug. No
Yeah.
questions asked. Literal, no questions asked.
No
Just kind of do it.
questions. Just hug it. Yeah.
Yeah, just give it some love.
Yeah.
Well deserved one and conditional. Thank God.
So, do you like the desert?
It depends on what type. I mean, I'm not Ace from Luffy. I'm from One Piece, and I do love me some deserts, but it depends on what type. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm riding that surfboarding style, the whole Sahara Desert surfboarding thing. Yes. If
Yeah.
you're talking walking the whole time, then yeah, that's just gonna be boring. Like I don't even find these type of quote unquote dangerous situations dangerous. I just find them boring. Like if you're gonna wipe my ass out, let me have a boxing match in the desert. That'll be more fun than
Yeah.
just walking and then dying of dehydration. I won't even die of dehydration. I'll just be like, you know what, God, just kill me now, or let me get some of that camel. Like I don't mean anything sexual. I mean like give it a hug first, because that
Give
boy
it a
will
hug.
save your ass. What?
Give the camel a hug.
Yes, because if you don't know, those people really save your ass. Because they be doing that loyal companionship where you're knocked out from dehydration and they just walk you from there to a nearby village. Because just like me, they can go for like a month without water, so they good.
Yeah.
They good.
Yeah.
That's all
I
I gotta
like
say.
camels.
Yeah, I like all the animals
Yeah.
except one. Except one.
Which one?
Well, it depends on what type, but I don't like some of them, but for very different and specific reasons. I don't like a shark because I can't have it as a pet, right? I can't have some sharky boys
Yeah.
on my
Yeah.
glass thing for the
Yeah.
fish because they'll eat each other.
Yeah.
I
Champion of
don't
the
like me
people.
some. Yeah, I don't like me some lions. I mean, I love me some lions. Lion King remake right now. I mean, that's some good shit. But I like me some lions, but I can't have them because they too fucking tiny, man. They're built for speed, which I respect, but they don't have the back strength. The shoulder strength. They don't got backstrokes for days. I'm talking about Free. The swimming anime.
Yeah.
That's the reference.
Yeah. Wait.
So
Are you saying
so
that
I
you want
can't
to
ride them.
ride on top of a lion?
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna ride that thing into battle just like you do with the Charizard. But just like with the Charizard, it's
Yeah.
too tiny to ride.
Yeah. The Charizard is too small. Yeah. You're right.
If only it was bigger.
If only.
Some questionable wording, man. I don't know if I just have like a hilarious mind or I'm just taking this way out of context, but this is just funny.
Yeah. But
Well, what about you? Do you hate some animals for very specific reasons? Like
um.
very ironic reasons?
Well, pretty much anything that bothers me on a daily basis is stuff I don't like. For example, uh, where I live, there's a lot of insects. Okay,
Oh, yes.
they're everywhere, and
But here's the thing: I would recommend not dropping food on the ground because that's how you get ants. I'm making a Archer reference. You know the show
no,
Archer.
I haven't watched it.
Well, just it's episode one, man. The reference is still early and fresh, surprisingly.
Yeah, but anyway, there's cockroaches,
Oh yes,
which
those are the worst. Have you seen flying cockroaches? Because there's nothing that gets there's nothing that scares a nigga real quick as a flying cockroach in his house. That's just real. Like that's an accurate statement. And I've seen the hood sometimes. Nothing scares these niggas more than a literal flying cockroach in their house, especially if it's like five or four of them and they're very big. Yeah, they're like nuke my house, man. I'm out of the country immediately.
well,
I've seen that happen sometimes.
where I
The
live,
nigga will
there's
literally dip the country if they has that in his house.
a variety of cockroach they call the palmetto bug, and it lives in little palmettos, little small palm-like plants, and what it does is if you get close to it, it'll spray out a bad smell.
I almost took that a completely different direction, but okay, you saved it. Okay.
Yeah. Why? What did you think I was going there?
Never mind. I thought it was a skunk situation where they spray you if you get close. Or
Well,
bite you.
yeah, they do. That is it. That is exactly what they do.
Well, if there is one reason I will never visit your house, that will be one on my top list.
Well, no, they're not in my house. I don't let them in
Close.
my house.
Doesn't matter. If they're in the same country, I'm never leaving my house.
And usually it's pretty easy to kill them before they do it. It's
Good.
yeah,
Because the only way I will survive going to your house is one of two ways. Either I have observation hockey and can predict their attacks, or I get the, what was it called? The Pyromancer or something like that from Team Fortress 2. You know, the guy with the flamethrower? I'm going to get him on my back to, like, hey, mow this grass down. I love my nature buddies, but, like, kill everything in sight before I can walk.
Yeah,
it's like getting DJs. You don't want to get anything dirty.
Yeah, in many places... In many places, if you have cockroaches, it's a sign that there's an infestation of some sort. But in the area where I live, having cockroaches come into your home is rather normal because they're in the wild. So they're just everywhere. If you have a cockroach, it's not a sign that there's some compromised health hazards. It's just that some snuck in because they're in the wild. It's not in a colder climate or anything.
If I'm gonna live there, fam, like, get this as a situation. If I live next to you or near the cockroaches, two things are gonna have to be a mandatory thing every day in my life. One is getting me them flamethrower hands. By that, I mean the ones that they had where they wanted to where you equip flamethrowers, like web shooters to your hand. It's like a flamethrower, a little bit of duct tape and stuff like that, so you can flamethrow Hadouken in the place. One, I will have those equipped at all times. And two, the only time I'm going outside my house is if a Pyromancer is right next to me, or I have a Charizard pet. Instead of a dog, I get me a Charizard. The only time I'll leave my house, because, yeah, like I said, you can get scared straight if you have those in your house. No one will mess with you if you have those in your house.
Yeah.
If you live peacefully with the cockroaches, then no one visits your house. Like, that's the best way to avoid gang fights. Like, just have your house filled with cockroaches and no one will enter.
But additionally, there's a lot of mosquitoes.
Oh, okay, that's not that bad, all right.
Yeah, but the problem is that somewhere in the region, there was an outbreak of, I think it was it West Nile virus, which can be transmitted by mosquitoes. So
what
that's
is West Nile virus,
or is it East Nile virus? I forget which one it is. It's one of the two.
Okay, what does it do exactly? That's my question.
It is a contagious. Let's see. Let me just search it up on Google real quick.
Google everything. That's how you get the real answers, kids.
I know it's something that can kill you if you get it. It's not like Ebola or anything. It's not that bad. If you get treatment for it, it's probably not going to kill you, but it still is nevertheless something that's bad.
At least it's not ligma.
Ligma, yeah. Oh my goodness, I wouldn't want that. But anyway, the mosquitoes where I live can also carry malaria.
Yes.
But they don't, because it doesn't exist in the region, but historically it has. So theoretically speaking, if there's maybe some changes in mosquito patterns, it might actually come back. Yeah.
I got a question for you, Sam.
Yeah?
There's something that I was watching YouTube videos the other day, right? And I saw a video of sodas, because, you gotta have that fizzle pop, Kool-Aid. So I saw that there was one named Stalin soda, like the guy you have as a profile picture or something. Stalin, like a White Stalin Coke soda. Yeah,
it's by General Zhukov. It's because he liked Coca-Cola, but of course the Soviet Union and the United States weren't on good terms at the time, so he made his own version. They never
are at this point.
So it's my perspective. It's clear. It's got a clear color to it, but it's essentially his version of Coca-Cola.
Okay, that's neat to find out. Gotta have them brand deals. That's all I gotta say.
All right.
Oh, also, a funny thing about me, I'm immune to just about everything.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds artificially made, but I'm not sure about that. Because the funny thing is, every other outbreak we've had of viruses, normal infection type shit, I've never had them. Like, none of them. And I'm also not allergic to anything. I've eaten just about anything this world has to offer, including that Chipotle, right? And no side effects. it was very interesting to find out.
Yeah.
It said it had to do something with my blood type. I don't know. Maybe my blood type has too many white cells, immune to everything. Maybe. I don't know. I would
Okay.
have settled for observation hockey instead, but being immune is good enough.
So it looks like West Nile fever, as it is called, which is caused by the West Nile virus, can have a number of different symptoms, and it seems like it mostly affects the nerves, but it causes flu-like symptoms, but it can also cause nausea, vomiting, loss of appetite, diarrhea. Some people develop a rash. It can also link to meningitis and encephalitis and poliomyelitis, similar symptoms, but not the same, and can theoretically lead to paralysis and
Full body? Like full body paralysis or just the neck down?
I think it's full body, and can also have
That's
hepatitis,
interesting to find out.
pancreatitis, myocarditis,
What's with the itis in every other symptom? My God, either the naming thing has gone downhill, or these people are no longer creative.
Well, I think the suffix itis refers to an inflammation.
Yeah, I can kind of tell from the name, but like the itis in every other disease confuses me.
Yeah, well, the terms usually combine a part of a body with the inflammation. Oh my goodness, is that what I think it is? Orchitis. It can cause orchitis.
What the hell is orchitis? It sounds like... Okay, never mind. I'm never going to say that out loud in a live stream.
Why?
Never mind. So what the hell does orchitis mean?
Okay, do you know what an orchiotomy is?
No, I have no clue.
Okay.
These people's naming things are gone downhill, I'm telling you, man.
Orchitis is the inflammation of the testicles.
God damn it! I knew it! I knew it had something to do with that. I wasn't gonna say it because I thought it was being lewd or some but I was right on the goddamn
Well, it's not lewd. It's the opposite. I mean...
Yeah, I know what she means, ma'am. I know. It's just,
nobody would want to be lewd.
It has to do with genitals. It just has to. God.
Yeah, it can involve swelling, heavy pains, frequent infection.
Well, looks like No Nut November has gone on long enough.
Yeah, well, that's never not again November there.
Are you sure it's not just No Nut November on crack? It's usually one or the other.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it happens from No Nut November too much. People either do it too much or too little. I'm not going into specifics, but you get the idea.
But also in the wild, there's a lot of grasses, okay, and there's ticks. Do you know what a tick is?
No.
No? Okay. So a tick is a small little parasite that's sort of like a mite, and it will bite someone, and it'll attach to that person's skin, and it will suck up the blood from that person.
Okay, pause on that, I guess. Maybe? Question mark? I don't know. Yeah, I see it. It's like a mosquito on crack.
Yeah, but it just stays there, though. It doesn't come off. It stays there for maybe
Otherwise,
several days.
Dangerous. I get the idea.
Yeah.
If it kind of has to stay there, because if it doesn't, then it's meaningless.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like not a thing if you don't. You know, you gotta have that edge factor.
Yeah.
I guess.
So I've had some ticks from time to time, and of course you have to be...
Same here, but mine were slightly different.
Yeah, very careful to remove them, because otherwise the head sticks on you and it might spit into your body, which is always a danger because ticks can carry a disease called Lyme disease.
What's that?
Okay.
My biggest question right now.
I'll tell you what Lyme disease is. Okay. It is a disease that you can get from ticks, but you can also get it from other sources as well. I'm just Googling it real quick as I'm saying this. In fact, I've got the page loading up for it. Okay.
Classic.
Okay. Lyme disease can affect multiple body systems and produce a broad range of symptoms. Okay. So, let's see. Chronic encephalomyelitis can occur. So you can get cognitive impairment, brain fog, migraines, balance issues, weakness in the legs, an awkward gait, facial palsy, bladder problems, vertigo, back pain. Those are all things you can get from very severe exposure, but there's also lighter things. For example, a very common symptom is you get a rash, but the way the rash is shaped, it's like a bullseye, like a target. Where you've got a center point that's red, and then you've got a ring around it that's also red.
Okay, I get the idea.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised, by the way. You know, half of these symptoms sound made up, the other half sound realistic, and then the name just sounds ironic.
Yeah, but some common symptoms are flu-like symptoms, of course, like with every disease. That's because flu-like symptoms are linked with an immune response, so you're obviously going to get that. Then there's headaches, muscle soreness, fever, and malaise.
Wait, what?
Malaise.
Can you repeat that, fam? Malaise? What is that?
Malaise, spelled M-A-L-A-I-S-E. It is a feeling of general discomfort, uneasiness, or pain, often the first indication of an infection or other disease. So it's if you're sick and you're feeling down because you're sick, that's malaise. Where it's not really a headache or a severe muscular pain or anything, you're just generally feeling trashy because you're sick.
Damn it. Okay, I see you. I got it.
Yeah, so there's
I'm
also...
getting my ass beat. I'm right now at chess.
Okay, then
You
there's
gotta have
also...
something.
Then there's something that people call chiggers.
Chiggers?
Chiggers, and they
get from the Winnie the Pooh, or like
no.
Triggers, as in people get triggered.
Chiggers.
Triggers, okay.
Chiggers, okay. So
Shivers.
So
Shivers, chiggers, miggers, and malaise. I don't know. These
okay,
names, man,
I was worried where you were going to end on that one, but anyway, chiggers are also a type of mite, and they live in the dirt often. And
what's a mite? What's a mite? Something that might kill you, or like what?
Okay, a mite is a small arthropod.
What the hell is that?
That is...
I'm telling you, man. The names are what literally get me.
Okay, do you know what?
God, people are making this shit.
An insect. Okay.
Yeah.
Mites are similar to insects, but they're not exactly insects. Since
not exactly,
they have,
but similar.
They have they have a different
biological system.
Well, they're different because they have a different number of legs, and oftentimes many of them are really small.
Okay.
So,
thinking very different things right now, but okay, I see you.
Yeah, but anyway.
Yes, I'm kicking his ass.
Yeah.
Questionable wording.
Chiggers also live in a plant that is called Spanish moss, which is a.
Oh yeah, I've seen that thing.
Yeah,
before.
they also like to live in that as well. But anyway. Chiggers
have some good taste.
What they do is, when they get onto your skin, they will bite you just like ticks. But since chiggers don't have large teeth, they can't really burrow through all the way into the skin. So what they do is they spit out something that sort of dissolves the flesh in front of them, so that
that's like an acid bug. Damn, nigga.
Well, it sort of digests it, and then it produces.
Okay.
A little
that's one way to wax all the hair off your skin. Okay.
It produces a little tunnel into your skin from which it can suck blood.
Pause. Just pause on that. Really, my nigga? They try to get deep in there. God damn it, these bugs are just like, I'm not surprised, but I'm not sure if it's creepy or confusing to me. I don't know. Let's just go to a different topic, please, for the love of God.
Okay. Then there's ants, of course. You know what ants are. We've got fire
Obviously,
ants.
why would I not know what
Yeah.
ants are?
We've
I know
got
what Ant-Man is. He's the ultimate Ant-Man, but besides that, I don't know what anything else
we've
is.
got
So continue.
fire ants, which are ants that
Yeah, I know what fire ants are.
yeah, they have
about
a
it.
very nasty sting. It hurts a lot. There's also carpenter ants, which are a bit bigger and they eat wood, and they also have
So
a worse
the wood
sting.
chippers. We like to call them wood chippers because some people actually use them for lumberjacking.
Yeah,
Surprisingly, they have. I'm not sure if I'm making this up or I've just dreamt about it.
I
But
think
it's
it would
like a
ruin the tree.
flamethrower, but with ant mites, like a flamethrower with ants that eat the wood. I don't know. It was a funny thing I saw once on YouTube. Maybe some guy was on cocaine, probably.
Yeah, but
It was funny though. Like he had a flamethrower, right, or at least something to shoot it out like bullets, and it was just a bunch of ants that eat wood. He threw them right at a tree, and then they just started gnawing.
yeah, but
Pretty
then
sure
there's
he numbed the crap out of the ants so they can't escape.
there's wasps and hornets.
Oh yes, those are both my favorites and the worst.
Yeah, they are pretty bad, and especially since they like to live in raised areas, which means that's where they put their nests, which means they frequently will go on the eaves of houses and will put their nests there. So,
It's like birds with their nests right on trees.
yeah, so you may walk out one day and above your doorway there's a big wasp nest. So
Yeah, I actually had that sometimes. I just don't mind them. Just sometimes I give them chips. Sometimes I give them a little bit of bread. Yeah, I found those. I was like, yo, what's up, fam? We good? And then yeah, I like to have like kind of a bro conversation with most animals around me. I don't know why. It's always funny, man. It's like they treat me like a homie, and I treat them like the bros. Like that's a realistic response.
yeah.
We really do that. It's actually a funny story. I have like a couple of them. Might say on stream if you want to, but besides that, I don't know. Do you want me to say the story?
Let me finish on the insects first.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
Finish the insects.
Yeah, but the problem is
our
that
conversation.
once there's a certain number of wasps, they start becoming aggressive. So
Yep.
yeah, and they hurt a lot.
It has to do with breeding sometimes. It does have to do with that.
Yeah.
Like with an ant, with a beehive.
Yeah, but then there's
You got a
also
female in the house, then the problem starts to arise.
something called the velvet ant, which is a type of wasp that doesn't have wings and it lives on the ground. And it's also called the cow killer.
Because it kills cows?
Well, not exactly, but it has one of the most painful stings of any wasp. In fact, one of the most painful stings from any insect. And it also has a very long stinger as well.
Oh,
Yeah?
sorry, I just like to make pause jokes whenever you say something funny.
Okay. And I even have some living in my yard, but they're fine because
Yep, that's
they're on
called
the
living
ground.
life.
So as long as you're not standing on their nest or anything, they won't really get you. But
Yeah, they got the bro code on point. Respect. Yeah, I
Yeah.
see what you're coming from.
Yeah.
I do have that sometimes around my house. I got the bro code with like 5 different species of animals around my house. I'm like, listen, fam, I won't kill you. I won't drive you out. You can stay. You don't even need to pay rent. Just don't pay me. Like as long as you don't bite me, you don't gotta pay rent. That's my conversation.
yeah,
Like, you don't need to pay rent. You can stay at my house. Just don't bite me, fam. We good. I'll get you food. Give me some company or some random animal to talk to.
Yeah.
Because it's either that or talking to a rock half the time.
so of course,
All I gotta say is when you're on speed, some weird shit happens.
yeah. So of course, other than the insects, there's also snakes. And I'm sure you know all about snakes. There's a lot of poisonous
Yeah,
snakes, and
I ain't even kidding.
and then
Those
there's
are crazy, man.
Yeah.
Those are the only kind of animals that I can't have a pact with. They don't question your bullshit. I mean, they sneaky, you know what I'm saying? They're what I like to call the ninja squad, because that's what they would be like. I meet some snakes. I'm like, yo, fam, what's good? You can stay at the house. And then they'd be cool for like a week or two. And then they start doing some sus-ass shit where they wake up in the middle of the night, try to choke me or some bullshit. and then just cut their head off. I'm like, okay, key two, and then I just go back to sleep.
Yeah, and then there's alligators in the
Oh, yeah, those guys
lakes.
are cool, actually. They're pretty cool. They're like the bro guys, the bodybuilders. I like to call them like the bodybuilders of the squad meeting. They're pretty funny. They hang out with sometimes.
I wouldn't want to hang out with one though because they can be very dangerous.
True, but remember, if you have enough dough and you're both high, then you're good.
Yeah. So there's also
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm just laughing my ass off with these conversations, man. I'm just remembering some shit.
there's also wild pigs in the woods, and they can be deadly. They can kill you.
Not if you kill them first.
And then there's what they call a panther, or they call it a mountain lion, and they live out in the
The guys
wilds.
that keep screaming like they're women. I actually had that once. Like, don't worry about it. It was near me, but that nigga was doing some sus ass sneaking. I'm telling you, fam. He kept screaming. I thought it was a woman in danger, right in the mountainside. I was like, maybe some nigga would fall off a mountain or some shit. I got my binoculars, right, and then I was like looking through the mountainside, and I saw this nigga ass looking right at me, like, yo, nigga, you good? Can you come over here for a second? We got some good ass Pokemon cards over here. And I was like, you nigga, I'm out. And then I just hauled ass back to the house. It was hilarious ass weekend, man.
Yeah.
He tried to kill me. He really did.
Yeah.
I mean, it's understandable. You gotta get the meal, right? But like, not me.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not that nigga that as long as it's not me, I'm good with anything you do. So, you know.
And then there's
maybe not killing people, but silver lining. That's all I gotta say.
There's also bears and
yes, the huggable bears. Yes, the panda bears. Those are the best.
No, not panda bears. These are
to trees, in my opinion, where they're the best to give them hugs. And just like with trees with thorns, they got claws. But if you got the Kung Fu Panda film on, they're good. Like if you got the Blood Pact, they won't kill you. And it's pretty fun.
Well, these are black bears, and they're
the forest niggas, the ones that keep having boxing matches. Yeah, those are hilarious ass people. I've seen Street Fighter. It was very funny. The Brazilian guy, he kept fighting bears for sport and training. I wanted to try that out, but I kind of got my ass beat. So yeah, I didn't want to try that again. Don't worry, I didn't fight a real bear. I just came close.
But the issue with the bears is that many people, if they try to escape from an animal, they'll try to climb a tree.
Yeah, no, don't do that. They're called tree huggers for a damn reason.
Yeah, the bears can climb trees too.
Suicide.
Yeah, and then finally, there's coyotes.
Oh yeah, those guys are like the hyenas of the wolf squad. They cheeky as shit, man. They ain't trustworthy.
Yeah.
Go ahead, continue.
Yeah, that's it.
Of the very questionable things I did in my childhood.
Yeah, but all those animals, they live around. So, yeah.
Yep. Especially around the squad.
Yeah, around the squad.
Animal squad. I'm like the animal whisperer, but like slightly different. Because the animal whisperer, he can hang out with the wolves, and they won't do shit. For me, I can hang out with the animals, but they can always kill me still. But hey, like I said, if you're high enough, it does not make a difference. So you just kind of hang out. You ain't scared of shit at that point. That's like my holiday weekends in a nutshell, man.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I don't smoke anything. I don't do any drugs, but I might as well be if I'm hanging out with the bear on the weekends, just chilling. I mean, I'm still surprised it didn't kill my ass, but still, like, it's pretty nice, you know?
Speaking of your answer there, you might as well be. Those are two answers that you can always give to questions. There's two answers. There's might as well be, and so what? Just use those two answers, and
I use them for everything. Trust me.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I'm so blunt and honest that no one ever questions me, which I find kind of funny and sad because I always love when people question me because it just make it like the embarrassing talk. It was so much fun, man. You have no idea. People question my shit, and then I talk real quietly and real specific to the point where they're like, either this guy is Bear Grylls, or he's just had the biggest amount of pot in his life. Because it really be like that. People question me sometimes, which I found like a challenge, you know? And then I just have to explain the situation, and it just gets bombastically hilarious. You have no idea what goes on in the weekend. It's the best day, man. You think you have a fun childhood? Try mine. hanging out with bears on the weekend. That's a sport right there. Have you actually done that? Like fought a bear for sport or training? It's pretty good training. If you want to be a real boxer like Mike Tyson, try fighting bears.
Yeah, I don't know if it's legal where I live though. So.
Well, I would recommend it because for me, it's similar with marriage. If you got consent, then you good. Like I get the consent of the bear that we can box match, and then he's good. Here's how the pact works: you don't kill my ass, and I don't report you, and then we good. I get to box you. We have some fun. No one dies, and yeah, we good. I'm telling you, man, it's the funnest weekend.
Yeah. Nobody does.
If you hang around hippies long enough, you learn some shit. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, but PewDiePie is still alive. Believe it or not, he's still alive.
Yeah, why wouldn't he be?
I don't know. Maybe there's some danger where he lives.
Oh, definitely. But he good. He knows how to stay safe. You know. Cause
yeah.
He got that $300 chair that can always lean back. You know.
Yeah. Well, it's free $99.99 actually, just to let you know.
Yeah, I know. I'm just making jokes about the stupid chair thing. I don't know why he keeps promoting it like crap.
Well, one reason is because it's obviously a meme. Another one is he gets sponsored. And
true, those are both like understandable reasons and recommended reasons to do dumb shit on the weekends. But anything else, not really. Which I both respect and kind of feel sad about.
And I
respect the simplicity of it, you know?
I would personally say that I don't particularly like that type of chair and a lot of the chairs that a lot of the gamers, popular gamers have. And I prefer chairs that have a more traditional shape when it comes to the shoulders. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. I understand. That's why I have this for 17 years. I really don't care about the price. It's still ragged, but it's comfortable. It's good for my back. It got the uncomfortable level, so it's good. You know, as long as it's comfortable, I'm good with it. You know.
Yeah, because I'm
like realistic answers.
I'm a broad.
Also, I always want one with a cup holder because you gotta have the snacks on ready when you're live streaming on Twitch.
Yeah, I'm a broad-shouldered lumberjack kind of guy, so I need a broad-shouldered chair. I'm not some soy boy who needs some narrowness. So there you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I have 2 questions for you.
Yeah.
Very important questions that I want the answer to.
Okay.
1. Have you ever fought an animal before?
As when it comes to larger animals,
maybe it doesn't have to be large. I mean, geese really f you up if you stand right next to them. Trust me, I know that for experience. They'll beat your ass.
I've fought with a dog, but not in a serious way. Not in a serious way, though. No.
Okay. So I've as for me, I've had plenty of animal fights. Plenty. More of them are the small variety kind, and I like to call them turf wars because it will really be like that. It's my house, my turf. They're outside of nature, and that's their turf. And the war is, like I said, with mosquitoes and cockroaches, flamethrowers, fights. Whoever survives gets the territory. That's how it works. That's just we'll be fighting some cockroaches, man. That's the 70%-ish of my fights with animals. The other 30% are, of course, the bear fights that happen once or every-ish years. I mean, I did do that once. It was fun. It actually is a funny, cool-ass show I've seen. Every Ramadan. It's a very hilarious show. It's like the Jimmy Fallon show, or like, you know, the talk shows, right?
Yeah, and the Jimmy Neutron show, yeah.
Not Jimmy Neutron, man. The talk host.
Yeah, I know. Jimmy Neutron.
Okay, yeah, that.
Max Headroom,
what this nigga would do, right, is something I find very funny, and I want to be on the show just to prove his ass wrong, right? Is that he'll like to pull off a prank on you. He'll take you to Iceland, right?
Okay.
And then he'll basically have a literal lion and a bear, like the brown big-ass kind, right? The one that's like 10 feet.
Yeah.
And then he'll put him in a cabin, right? And then he'll just have you jet ski his ass to that cabin, right? And the prank is you got to open the door, and then you just see a bunch of dead bodies and the bear and the gigantic ass lion. Now the prank is this: they're all hauling ass because you got to haul ass, right? You got
Yeah.
two choices: fight them, win some money, save some lives, right? Or haul ass and live. And that's the funny part. No one ever chooses to fight them and win money and hoes and the glory. No one. I've never seen a contestant do that. And that's why I want to prove his ass wrong. He said no one can ever do it. No one, he's never seen anyone do it. Apparently he hasn't met me, so yeah, I'm telling you, get us some pot, some speed, take me to that cabin, and you'll see some miracles.
Yeah.
I would actually legit do that for free. Not even kidding. I don't even need the publicity. I just want to fight a bear and a lion at the same time. Tag tool dueling, except I'll bring a dog with. It seems more of a fair fight, you know. And of course, you gotta have either a sword, some Bear Grylls type of techniques to hold them down, just in case, right?
Yeah.
And maybe some boxing gloves. Not for the bear because they don't fit. Mainly for the dog and me, because you can always have the puppy boxing gloves. You know, I've seen those, and they're pretty funny.
Yeah.
I'll get my dog to wear one and then just beat his ass. I don't got one, but I will get one just for the show.
The problem with fighting large animals is that a lot of them have a very unexpectedly large strength for their size.
True, because just like with fat people, not body shaming or anything, is that it's all muscle. You know, that's the thing that most people don't get. They think size just means fat, but no, bears got that on lockdown. It's all muscle, man. That's why I don't take it easy with them bears. I gotta have the sword just in case, you know, because they ain't about to get murked. But I will fight you fairly. It's just if you pull out the claws, I'll pull out the sword. That's how it works.
Do a good old bear grizzly.
Yeah, but I will actually legit fight a bear.
Grizzly Adams, that is.
I'll box match the out of that bear, man. I've seen Avatar. The last Airbender. They've had some good bear fights.
Yeah.
Once, but yeah, we good.
You like The Last Airbender?
Yeah. Which one, by the way? The show, the movie.
The movie. Let's talk about the movie.
Of course we will. God damn it. Listen, I don't hate the movie. Right? I don't hate it, but I also don't like it. I'm the middle ground man. But here's the thing. Unlike traditional people, I don't like it for very specific reasons, and I actually love a little bit of the aspect of it for very specific reasons. But considering I talked for 2 hours, it's your turn.
Okay.
You start the convo, I guess.
Okay. The movie, I would say that it is not the best adaptation. It has some general... it generally follows the story, and of course it glosses over a lot of the stuff that happens because a lot of the episodes, to be honest, when it comes to the general story as a whole, they don't really add much plot wise, so I think it's okay to skip over a lot of them, but with the stuff they kept, they still ended up not doing as well as they maybe could have. But of course, this is always an issue that occurs with animation and adapting something that's already been animated or something that's already been
already established worlds and universes. I got you.
Yeah, but well, it's not only that people have an expectation for how something is going to look specifically, because unlike a book where you've got a description, but the actual details of how that would look can still be interpreted by the producer and the director. But with something that's been already animated, if you change the way something looks, it's going to upset a lot of people. But
actually, I respect that opinion. I have it, and I kind of have a similar opinion on it and problem plus solution for it.
Yeah.
But it's your turn, so continue before I just butt in, I guess.
On the technical aspects of how they did the bending, because I saw
yes.
Okay.
That's some straight up bullshit.
Okay, because behind the scenes, I saw the behind the scenes for the original animated series. And from that, of course, I know that a lot of the moves in the bending is based off of real martial arts moves, and therefore they are all choreographed in real life first before they then come into being animated. So therefore, since it's already based on real life moves and how it works, I see no reason why they should overcomplicate the way that they ended up doing it in the movie, because the way they ended up doing it in the movie, you'd have to do 20 different hand techniques in order to push one little rock. And
the whole earth bending thing. Yeah, I see you.
And of course, it entirely ruins the pacing of certain fights that, of course, in the first part of the series, which was the only part that adapted, isn't as big an issue since you don't have that many earthbenders. But then later on in the second and third parts, we're having a fast-paced fight against people like the Dai Li or people like that, where you can't really do that with the type of earthbending that they established in the movie, and that would be a problem.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's why I like Top. She knows what's good about earthbending. She knows what to do. Also, support me on Patreon.
Yeah.
I'm currently plugging my Patreon like a boss right now. So, yeah, I see. I got some opinions on that.
Yeah.
First thing I got an opinion on, and things that pissed me off, plus got somewhat of a solution on, and kind of sad thing, like all interconnected idea, is the bending, right? Like,
yeah.
One, they didn't really have to try that hard, yet they still fucked it up. Two, it hit me a lot like the Ruby concept, where it's like you already got pre-established shit. You already got like most of the techniques and fighting styles pre-made, and this one took the live action shit. Like they took real world fighters, just like with dance, like Fortnite emotes and dance moves. They took real life inspiration, just twisted it a bit. So it didn't have to work that damn hard just to interpret it into the real world. It already is the real world. But yeah, they kept fucking up the dance moves and the techniques, the fighting ones. I mean, the best part for me with combining both the dance and the fighting techniques and bending is the dragon dance. The one that Aang and Zuko did.
Yeah.
When they experienced firebending again.
Yeah.
For the second time. That was a pretty good way to like combine both the fighting technique and a martial arts dance move. That hip-hop stuff is on point. Yeah, it's like a pretty good technique. That's all they really had to do, but they fucked it up real hard. Like, that's the thing I'm disappointed at. Where it's like, you kind of assume they're dumb because half of the time, the stuff is so easy, there's no way they fucked it up unless they did it on purpose. That's kind of like my opinion, I guess.
Yeah. Because
sometimes it really be like that. You're like, it's just a simple fighting technique, yet the writers and the storyboard artists do not, correlate or like have the same opinion, so they keep messing up the story. A similar thing with Steven Universe and the sizes of characters. They kept messing it up because the storyboard artists don't exist. The writers are the ones that control the anime. And then the animators, they just do their job regardless of what the hell the storyboard artist tells them. So they just kind of get paid anyway and fuck it up anyway. Yeah, I guess. That's like the biggest issue. The second biggest thing is the storyline. Like, it follows a lot like the EA storyline. Like, the video game company, right?
Yeah.
Where they expected something to be a hit just based off the name and already plan out sequels before even focusing on making a good first product, right?
Well, they didn't end up making sequels this case, but I'm sure they were hoping to.
That's what I meant what I meant by it. The EA thing. Where they think they're going to make a chapter 2, a book 2, a book 3, a book whatever the fuck. And then they mess it up because they focus too much on the product placement and the fact that they're literally going to get a sequel before even realizing to make a good movie. Like, they make a good movie second and product placement first. So they kept messing up, even though originally it's supposed to be the opposite. I'm telling you, man, these people are always on crack. I'm telling you. Some of the best writers I've ever seen making shows and stuff are the ones that are on crack. Because just like with the... I'm probably spoiling the shit out of this, but you know the guy who made Kirby? I forgot his name. What was his name? The guy who made Kirby.
I don't know the name.
I think no, it wasn't Hideo Kojima. That guy made Solid Snake in the Metal Gear series, right? The guy who made Kirby, right? You know the latest Super Smash Bros. Thing where he killed
Oh,
off half the universe.
yeah, I know who you're talking about, but the name
Yeah,
doesn't come to mind at the moment. Yeah,
yeah, it's okay, it's okay. Like that's the good kind of story writer. The guy who you assume is on crack because he literally killed half his universe better than Thanos ever did. But at the same time, it's good storytelling because it's interesting. He thinks of blowing up the universe first, everything else second. But with most people like EA, it's backwards. It's money first, then the product second, and that's why the amiibos are the better version of content, or I guess product placement, in my opinion.
yeah,
Amiibos are always better than anything EA comes up with their bullshit dolls and figurines. That's my opinion.
yeah.
Don't
I
kill
don't know
me.
much about that, but yeah, I know what you're saying. But anyway, going back to uh, fighting
Earthbender.
choreography, because this is something as a martial artist that I actually know some things about. And one thing I didn't like, I don't know if you've seen this movie, but I didn't like the fighting choreography in the movie Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
Oh yeah,
And
I haven't seen it yet, but with enough content and movie reviews, you kind of already seen it at this point.
yeah, but anyway, the way the fighting choreography went, the direction that they stated that they gave was that they wanted something to be, that they wanted the fighting to be more primal, to be more wild. But unfortunately, although I can see how you could do that with certain ways that you fight, that
Yeah,
doesn't
I would
mean
say just fight bears.
that
That's my
doesn't mean
recommendation.
you should be a bad fighter, because we have to remember that Kylo Ren, he learned from Luke Skywalker, so he's not going to be, and he also learned from Snoke and others as well, and he's supposed to be this really great fighter, but then when he uses his lightsaber, he's just swinging it around like a child, and I'm thinking, who gave this guy the direction to do that? Uh, Thanks, J.J. Abrams, or as they call him, Jar Jar Abrams. But
Yeah, Jar Jar Binks. I got you. I got
yeah,
you.
but anyway,
That's actually a funny thing. Is I've actually experienced that a little bit in fighting choreography, where people wanted to make theirs more animal based and fighting based. And my first and only recommendation to improve that type of specific fighting style is to fight bears. Now it
yeah,
sounds crazy, but hear me out on this one. I don't mean like fight bears as in my version of fight bears, like fist to fist boxing man. No, I meant the style of fighting. Big, tough, strong, unblockable rock, that kind of thing. Right? Where you learn more of a defense and then powerful attack than speed, which is the opposite of what I do. I'm flash stepping all over the house. That's my technique because you gotta have that nimble body, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I would recommend for more of aggressive fighting style is do extra defense, extra strength, and lower speed. You don't have it you don't need it to be low as long as you have good enough reaction time, it's pretty decent. What I would recommend is focusing on dirty boxing or dirty fighting, the kind of thing where you spit at your opponents or distract them, or do the bullshit thing like against the rules. Most things that they assume is against the rules.
yeah,
I
surprise
recommend,
orchiotomy.
yeah,
uh,
I would recommend doing those, but a very subtle way. Like you don't just spit at your opponent. Instead, it's kind of like do
well,
the
I
John
know a
Cena
special
thing.
technique. Okay, I know a special technique that's
What is it?
specifically about
Is it
ripping
is it
off.
yelling about memes? Is it
No,
yelling
it's
about
specifically about uh, tearing off a guy's genitals.
okay? Continue.
It's a special technique where you grab, okay, you reach out and you grab and then you twist and you pull as you're twisting, and man, that probably hurts a lot if you get hit by that.
Have you ever tried it?
No, I haven't actually tried it on a person, and I don't
And how
think.
did you develop the technique in the
Well,
first
no,
place?
it's a technique that is taught. It's a very regular, normal, common technique. It's not unusual at all. But
Oh, all right. You want to know my technique? I have a very special technique of my own, right?
yeah,
I have the very cool Talk no Jutsu technique from Naruto.
okay,
I'm a master at doing that. What I
okay,
would do is it helps with my personality, being straightforward and honest, right? That it helps because, and of course, you gotta have the ultimate roasting techniques at your side because they're a good backup, right? what I would do in most fights, let's say we're both equally matched or equally strong power levels, right?
Yeah.
We're both at half our health. We're kind of worn out, but not out yet. So what I would do is to use the Talk no Jutsu. I essentially get double the energy back. Essentially, what that means is getting up like you haven't even gotten scratching yet, even though you're panting, right?
Yeah.
And just kind of like have a conversation, right? That's what the Talk no Jutsu works. Where essentially, I just kind of talk it out, you know? It's essentially a way to not really back out of the fight, but more like conserve energy while downgrading your opponents, you know?
Yeah.
Either that or getting him on your side so you don't have to finish the boxing match. It's one or the other. That's why it's called Talking no Jutsu from Naruto. Where I would essentially just have a conversation with him, fam. Usually, you know how they say fighters talk with their fists, right?
Yeah.
Well, what I would do is I would use that to my advantage. We would have this is why I say we're equally matched, because that is when it works best, when you have mutual respect for each other. We're not like, I'm weak, so you don't even care what I say, or I'm too strong and you're kind of scared of what I'm going to say, you know? So we're equally matched, so you kind of hear me out, right?
Yeah.
Because that's kind of the environment you want for a nigga to hear you out first, for you to use it. So he would hear me out. I'll be like, yo, fam, what's good? You're pretty good at fighting. Where do you learn this? You want to get a cup of coffee later? Stuff like that. Where I would kind of talk while resting myself, because sometimes it's called limit break, what I use in fighting. Sometimes when I have to fight people, is where I overdo it. Like I would use all my energy at once, but the side effect of it is wearing out too hard and unable to move, like
Yeah.
physically. Like it's like using hockey, where you kind of overdo it, so you gotta rest for 10 minutes.
Yeah. You got to
That's
give it a
what I would.
rest.
Yeah, that's what I would do. So that's why I use this technique. It's like a last ditch effort technique where I would use it to conserve energy, regenerate, while also downgrading my opponents. It's either lowers his defense, depending on what type we're talking about, right? If he hears you out and he's calm and shit, he's no longer tense, he's not ready to fight, he's like, I'm about to tap out and need to go get a coffee with this homie right now. Like that's their mindset. Either that, or they at least hear me out and are so confused that I'm just chill all of a sudden that they kind of drop their guard, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, depending on which type, I use one of three limit breakers. Exactly what it sounds like, because that's how it works. I would use first is the broke limit breaker. It's exactly what it sounds like in RPGs, where you kind of like shatter your arm to beat your opponent. Basically what I need to do is two things. One, I need to be weak enough so that I'm about to pass out, but not enough. And my opponent needs to be weak enough or drop his guard hard enough, boss, that he can be taken out easily. So what I would do is I'll essentially go all out, except with my good speed and reaction time, and his guard being lowered, I would take him out before he realizes what's going on. But in the process, I overdo it and pass out right next to him. Sounds like a gay ass moment, but trust me, just don't take it into context. I would have that as the first limit breaker. The second is the other version of Talk no Jutsu, where we just both pat out and we're like, okay, it's a draw and we leave, right?
Yeah.
And the third is the roasting one, where I just trash talk his ass. He gets angry and probably gets in a blood rage, which I would call dumb people tend to use. I mean, there's two different ways, in my opinion, to use rage. You either use a blood rage, where you get stronger, faster,
Yeah.
but dumber, and you kind of just start lashing out, making me a tactical advantage master and this fast motherfucker easily able to dodge your and hit you twice as hard, right?
Yeah.
And here's the thing: when you use a blood rage, you don't up your defense. I'm using RPG terms because I'm a gamer, and that's usually what I use for techniques. But that's what I mean. It doesn't up your defense. You don't get more buff. You just kind of use all your power all at once because you're pissed. And it's a blood rage because most often than not, they don't remember what the hell they're doing. They're just flashing out. So I would use that and use flash stepping and stuff like that to dodge and then beat his ass. Either that or the other kind, where I would roast him. He would be like, I had enough of this shit, and try to fight me real hard, but not in a blood rage. He would actually try seriously to finish this off. It usually happens when you assault a nigga's mom. Now, I don't do that often, but hey, some niggas gotta get that roasting. So you do that, he'll get pissed, you go on all-out fight, and give or take, if you're good enough, the minimum damage you're gonna take is one broken arm. But besides that, then you're good, so yeah. I mean, it's a pretty good limit breaker. It doesn't kill you, just make sure you sacrifice one thing to beat his ass. But if you do that, then you're good, you know?
Yeah.
It's a good thing to use in combat situations, at least in my opinion.
Yeah. You gotta
I mean, I've
fight.
had combat experience, but slightly combat experience. Most of them are mental combat experience, which is exactly what it sounds like. Techniques, different methods to train, ways to buff and wiggle your opponent, stuff like that. As for real combat advantage, I've had some sparring matches, a little bit of training at the gym, and maybe some military training, but not like in the army. I meant like tactical military training, where you kind of learn the ins and outs of war. Trust me, when you hang out with mosquitoes, that's what you gotta learn first.
Yeah. So I personally, of course, I've done a lot of training because I am a martial artist, but I do say that there's some tricks that I always have up my sleeve. One is that,
Besides the ball twister.
yeah, one is that I'm so tough that when people hit me, it hurts them. So
Oh, you got what I like to call armor mode. It's exactly what it sounds like. You got so high of a defense that more often than not, damage equal to what your take is taken out from them. It's the same thing with he deals 50 damage to you but takes 25 damage to himself. Yeah, I know. I'm just using gaming terms to understand your logic.
And
Go
in
ahead.
addition to that, I use a special type of blocking technique where I will block someone while simultaneously hitting the limb that is attacking me. So let's say somebody kicks me, I will maybe block it by punching the leg and maybe breaking it. So that hurts a lot as well. But
To
when
them or to you, which one is it?
to them, of course,
Okay.
and
Cool. Actually, I want you to watch something. Do me a favor and watch a show I've been watching. Well, it's not a show, even though I can wish it was a show, man. It's the shit. It's a series. It's a comic book. It's like JoJo. It's usually all about fighting. Right? So go ahead with your story. I'm gonna look up the name
Okay.
and give it to you on Skype.
Okay, so in addition to that, when I kick, I like to do a special type of kick where I get in and I make it unblockable, so that
Is it a tornado kick?
I can do multiple of those in a row.
Yes, Street Fighter has been real. Yeah, you play too much Street Fighter, I can tell.
Well, no, I don't play Street Fighter at all. I'm honestly saying I can do multiple tornado kicks in a row. It's not hard.
Yeah, that's what happens when you play too much Street Fighter.
But yeah, so it's well, not unblockable. I think it's better to say undodgeable, but would hurt a lot if you blocked it. So therefore, it forces the opponent to block
The question is,
or get hit.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Can you use the ball twister when someone uses the tornado kick? Because I've seen that happen before sometimes. It's crazy, but it does happen. Where someone will try to tornado kick like high at the opponent, right? And the guy would have the idea, it's kind of like the One Punch Man where thing, we would just kind of kick him right in there. And I gotta ask, does that work? Like, I mean, it probably does because you're kicking his nuts.
If your opponent drops his guard there, but most people, or at least anybody who's skilled, isn't going to let that happen. It's sort of like how if somebody's wearing heavy armor, most people would say, well, why not just stab him in the gaps in the armor? Wouldn't that be an easy way to take him out? But you have to remember that these people know their weaknesses and they know where they can get hit. So
at least if they're professional, they know their weaknesses.
Yeah, but if it's just some random person, yeah, it probably works. Yeah.
This is actually why I love speed and tactical advantages, because they cover my weaknesses, which is strength and endurance. I got endurance, but a different kind. I got mental and psychological endurance, not physical endurance, because, well, when your limbs are made out of noodles, you can't really take that much of an ass beating, you know?
Yeah, well, I can kick a hole in a wall, so it's not...
That's like Chun-Li. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. He knows Street Fighter, guys. He knows
I don't play Street Fighter, honestly. I never have.
Well, you live Street Fighter. How about that?
Okay, fair enough.
Cars? Because if you do, then that's it. You have to have lived Street Fighter. There's no way. If you ever beat up a car, you gotta confess. Have you ever beaten up a car?
No, I wouldn't even try because it would cost me a lot of money to pay their insurance.
But for training, though, like, have you ever done it for training?
No. It
Well, it looks like you've never had my kind of training. I've actually done that maybe once, where I don't know. Listen, half the time I don't remember shit because I'm like on speed all the time. So yeah, I might have done that once to help me focus on car dodging, if that makes sense.
okay.
Basically, it helps build up endurance so that when a car hits you at full speed, you at least can break either the damn mirror or a little bit of the hood before it breaks you. So, you know. Because remember, if you can blow a hole in the wall, then if you get hit by a wall, it doesn't hurt.
Yeah, but there's other considerations.
What?
There's other considerations, so yeah.
That is true, but like I said, I'm crazy. I do the crazy style of fighting, man. The crazy. I've watched too much anime. You can say that's the reason.
Yeah, I can tell. Yeah. So anyway, I like to do fancy multiple kicks where I jump up in the air and do multiple kicks before I land. That's a real specialty of mine. One technique I do is I kick two opponents at the same time. I will kick with both legs at the same time, and
which type? Is it a hurricane kick? By hurricane kick, I mean like Sanji from Luffy, where he kicks all the opponents, but by using his hands like a frisbee.
Well, no, a sort of you. It's a general front kick, but I jump up and then I kick out with both my legs at the same time.
I got one question for you, fam. Do you got black hair?
Not quite. It's a very dark brown.
Alright, good. Then you can relate really fucking hard to this nigga from the story. Damn, the more I hear about your fighting techniques, the more I think you just kind of learned it from this. Yeah, there's very cool, like, fighting techniques and leg kicking techniques from this show that I've been watching. Well, it's a comic book, but you get the idea. It's pretty cool in my opinion. You should watch it or read it.
Yeah?
Yes.
You think so?
I would recommend it for fighting fanatics or martial art fanatics because it's a martial arts tournament. You know, like, it teaches you all the different fighting techniques. But one thing you gotta learn about this comic before you start reading it, the most important thing you gotta learn is this. Every single character, right?
Yeah.
Knows how to flash step. Relatable to me, it's personally, but they know how to flash step, so that's the thing you gotta, like, keep in mind. Because, you see, a lot of these techniques that they show you, they would actually teach you how to do them. You just gotta practice them yourself. Like, they use real-life fighting techniques and unique fighting techniques that are hard to learn, but, like, good to have in your martial arts bundle, I guess. Like Batman's belt, you know?
Yeah.
So I recommend learning something from here. It's pretty good. I mean, it's an interesting read, plus it teaches me new fighting techniques, like the dragon dive kick. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'll have a gander, yeah.
I've sent you the name on Skype.
Yep.
Remember, it's a comic book, so if you write it on Google, make sure to check the comic, because I don't think there's a movie about this show, even though I wish.
Yeah, it says it's a... I see one, it says it's a webtoon.
Oh, yes, that's what it is.
Yeah, it's a Korean-made, by the looks of it, yeah. So anyway, have you seen any good birds lately?
Birds or births? Because you gotta be specific.
Birds, the ones with wings, they fly.
Oh yeah, I've seen some birds.
Yeah?
I've seen some Assassin's Creed hawks.
Yeah, you do some bird watching? Are you an ornithologist?
No, I don't do some bird watching, but I do bird hangout. A bird hangout.
Yeah?
It's exactly what it sounds like. Trust me, I've seen enough videos of people hanging out with the animals and smoking pot with them that you can guarantee I'm one of them at this point.
Okay.
No, seriously, check that out, man. As soon as I saw it, I died laughing for 3 weeks straight, man. I'm not even kidding. Because I was like, I thought I was the only one who did that, hang out with the damn monkey, give him some pot, to start talking. It's like, nigga, you high yet? And he's like, yeah, man, I'm good. It's funny. All right, do you want me to tell you a very funny story about my bird adventures?
Uh, sure.
Well, this one isn't a bird because if I said that one, I might get kicked out of YouTube. But I do have one with a dog,
Okay.
a dog adventure, right? Okay, so here's the adventure. Me and a homie, right? A dog homie from the hood. Basically, what I mean by the hood is me. I mean the farm, right? And
Yeah.
we were just walking, right? We're homies because let's be real. Any dog I hang out with is a homie. So we're walking to the mountainside because that's where some ish houses are here. We're like I said, we're Kona Huff. We got mountain places. So most people live on the mountainsides, like building mountainsides. If I'm being specific, we wanted to go to one because it was where his owner is living, and we're walking through the forest. Now here's where the fun part comes in. We were walking for 2 hours, right? And we decided to take a break. So guess what I did? I found a pretty cool ditch. By that I mean like a river style thing where it's like a little well, but it's like a beach almost in the middle of the forest. And then we kind of sat there, drank some water, and chilled for a minute. And then I was talking to the dog because, just like I said, it's either that or talk to myself. So, but the dog was mad cool. He understood. He understood what I was talking about. Surprisingly.
Yeah.
So we had this cool little conversation, right? I mean, he replied to me, just not in the way you think. I was talking. Did he get any girls yet? You know what I'm saying? Like the classic conversation. Damn it! This really should I really be sharing this shit, man? Okay. Just remember, I'm not smoking anything. Okay, this is 100% guaranteed. Okay,
Yep.
just remember. It might sound like I'm high as fuck right now, but I'm not. But I might as well be. So we're there, right? And then we were talking, right? I was like, get any of them female dogs, right? I didn't want to say
Yeah.
the B word, so it's
Yeah.
like
Asking
female
if
dogs,
if you
right?
gave anyone the knot.
Yes, well, I actually asked. Luckily, he did not. Thank God, because there weren't no female dogs
Yep.
near his place. There were
No
only
knots to
human women.
give.
Yeah, there was only human women, and I was like, thank God, man, you didn't get any of that puss. Because if you did, then yeah, I gotta call the sheriff on your ass, because that bestiality is real, man. So didn't want none of that. So we were having a convo, right? And then a wolf showed up. Apparently, I was in the middle of fucking, literally in the middle of a Lion King, because a wolf showed up and he drank from the well, the thing we were talking about. And he was like acting chill as fuck, and I was sus. I was sus a little bit, because while I am the animal whisperer and the high nigga, I don't know. While I am the homie, that's all I gotta say. I was a bit too homie with this nigga. It kind of confused me because I couldn't tell if the wolf was just chill or he knew I could understand his ass. He showed up, right? He drank from the well. Remember that scene in Lion King or the Jungle Book where everyone has a well there, and they have like some sort of peace contract
Yeah.
where they all show up there and drink water and respect each other's boundaries and don't kill each other. It's like that. He saw us drinking and then just kind of joined and drank right next to us. Thankfully, he did not kill me, but he could have. He was a big ass nigga. So he showed up. He drank, right? He gave us that nod of respect, right? The thing where you're like, I'm watching you, don't try me, but at the same time, I won't kill you, not. It's very specific, but you'll understand it if you face down the wolf hard enough, pause. And then he left. Now, here's the funny part. After that, me and my dog, we whipped out some bacon. By bacon, I don't mean bacon because we don't eat bacon, but like, I whipped out some chicken nuggets, some Gucci gang fries.
Yeah. Gucci. Yeah.
Good shit. That's all I got, the good shit. And then the wolf came back. Except here's the difference. This nigga came back with his whole fucking pack. Like 4 to 7. Well, luckily it was only 7. But like, still, I'm confused as fuck. Because here's the thing with me. I can understand animals to an extent, but that doesn't mean I understand their bullshit reasoning. Because most of the wolves I saw before and hanged out with, right? They either kill you, don't, or neither. You know, like neither or. They
Yeah.
don't go to the middle option that often because remember, it's a damn wolf. If you fuck with it, I'm gonna kill your ass. So he did not kill us. He did not kill us. He actually did try and fight us. But the thing is, he brought a pact. Like you would assume he would fight you one on one because that's the pact rule. If you beat the shit out of the alpha male or the leader, you're the leader of the pack. That's how it works, right?
Yeah.
At least in my version, that's how it works. So surprised when he gets a whole fucking squad back in here, and he stands right in front of us, man. And it's like this is why I say I might as well be high, because if you see this from any other perspective, it looks like the goddamn wolf whisperer out here. Me chilling on a rock right next to a river with a dog. He on that bacon right there, man. And then 6 wolves, or 7 actually, just a bit confusing because I'm trying to say it like fresh without being weird about it. Show up and kind of like stare us down. If you saw this from any other perspective, I swear to God, you'd be laughing your ass off. So they show up and they do the hand signal of let's have a turf war. And then I give them the hand signal of no, we're just passing by. Do you want more details on that or not?
The hand signal.
The hand signal. Basically, what it is, considering even though I can understand wolves to an extent, I don't understand what they say if they just bark. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I understand they're like facial features. Remember, that's kind of the key thing here. If you want to understand these niggas, you gotta recognize the body movements. So what I recognized was that he's getting the squad ready. And the turf war signal is essentially they go in one straight line, or I guess like the sideline thing, where they kind of like 6 of you against 6 of us. Kind of like the Marvel thing with the Infinity War, where there are like 6 of them. You know, the Marvel universe where 6 fight 6 heroes against 6 heroes. You know that stupid trailer thing? I forgot the name. You get the idea at least, right?
Yeah.
You know, Spider-Man against Captain America, Iron Man against Thor, and a bunch of other shit. That movie. It happened like that movie. They showed up and they just started running at us. And then, of course, your homie, right, being high as fuck and chill, I have 2 reactions. One is to either immediately get my sword out and start killing niggas. The second is just chill and not react at all. I tried the second one. Thank God it worked. Where I was like chill, and they stopped dead close to me, not that far away that I can actually stand up, but not so close that they're right next to my face. And they kind of did the hand signal of one-on-one. What the hand signal of one-on-one means, it essentially everybody leaves, like gets away. It's the same thing with a boss fight, where all the minions go out of your way so you can have one-on-one with the boss fight. And the turf nigga, the guy who I met first before he got the squad back online, he showed up. It's like, yo, I want to fight you one-on-one. And it was like, cool, let's go. And here's the funny part. Before we fucking fought, a deer showed up. I'm telling you, man, this was the highest adventure as a 10-year-old. Okay, so the wolf guy, right, he wanted to have a one-on-one. What the one-on-one looked like is very simple. He showed up, told the wolves to back out a little bit. I told the dog to stay. And then he kind of wanted to like have a fight. You've seen the new the Oscar-winning Leonardo DiCaprio movie where he cuts a bear and hides inside of its skin, right?
No, I haven't seen that one.
Well, it was that, and there was also this one movie where a bunch of them got locked up in Iceland or some shit, and they were fighting wolves, right? They were fighting a wolf pack. And just watch that movie to understand my situation, because it helps if you've seen it from that perspective. Because you can kind of tell the leader of the pack who he is by the fact that he fights you one-on-one. So, he wanted to fight me, and here's the thing. I told him, sure, but I kind of don't want to fight you here because this is the sanctuary. He's like, I respect that, but I want to beat that ass. So, he kind of started charging at me, right? And what I did was, I backed down. What I did was, I told him I don't want no casualties, so I didn't fight him. He was like, okay, respectable, but leave. I was like, okay, we finished our walk, and then this is where the deer showed up. He showed up, right, for the peace offering bullshit. I swear to God that place was from Lion King, right? Where he showed up to drink from the water. Either that was just a small sanctuary in the middle of the forest. I can't really tell what the shit half the time. So he showed up there, and he started drinking some water. Then the wolf got the idea that this isn't my location. What he assumed was this is my territory. And what territories work with wolves is each pack has its own territory, right? And you are allowed in, but only if they invite you in or if you're going to have a duel. Because the pack leaders do have honorary duels between each other to expand their pack. But anything than that, they got to fight for it, right?
Yeah, you gotta have that honor. I got that honor in a Chengdu Quan.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Because the wolf assumed that was my territory, because, like, if you see a random ass nigga in the middle of the forest, you assume it's his territory. So when he saw the deer, I explained to the wolf that this deer showed up for the sanctuary. So it's not my territory. Even if you kill me, you don't get nothing. And surprisingly, the wolf said, okay, respect, I'll leave you alone. And then all of them left. And then, guess what I did after that? I popped out some of that sake, like the Japanese wine stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then I went with that dog. We went back to the house. We drank like half the damn bottle. And then we just slept. And this is why I say half the stories are a little bit weird, because just like with being blacked out, you kind of forget half the details.
Yeah.
But at least from my perspective, that's how it was. Because, I mean, being specific only helps. Because if I give you a vague description, it looks like this. A wolf showed up, tried to fight me, I backed out, he said fuck you, and left. Like, that's the short version. But the one with details kind of makes it more reasonable. It makes more sense. So, well, it wasn't sake, but it might as well be, because, like I said, it's like a little bit of that lemon juice mixed with a little bit of cocaine and stuff like that. So we just kind of drank and passed out, both me and the dog. So we kind of passed out and we slept. And then the next morning, right, the owner showed up. He was like, yo, fam, what the hell were you doing? Because it's been like 18 hours since I called you. It's like, where have you been at? I told him I was in the sanctuary. He said, what sanctuary, my nigga? I told him, there's a sanctuary near your house. It's in the forest. He said, do you mean the Riverlands? I was like, what the fuck do you mean? Is that from like Pokemon, Lord of the Rings? What Riverlands? He told me there's a river, right? That's why I say it's like Lion King. There's a river that most animals go to drink out of. It's like a peace offering for nature. Something like that. I'm not sure. It's confusing, but it works. That's all I gotta know. And he told me to never go there again. I was like, why? He told me that's where the tribes live. And I was like, okay, just like, remember, like I said earlier, if you live among hippies too much, they teach you some shit. And my friend was like the what the hell do they call them? You know the Japanese guys who hunt animal spirits? Like the one that wear wolf costumes and chants or some shit. I don't know. I forgot their tribe or some shit. I forgot their name.
Oh, you mean the ones that live in northern Japan?
Not really Japanese. I don't think they're Japanese.
The Ainu?
Maybe. I'm not sure. Have you seen Brother Bear, the movie, the animated movie?
No.
Okay. Well, long story short, these people communicate with animal spirits because they believe the animals are the first kind and stuff like that. You know, the kind of guys who connect with the afterlife, but the animal ones, the animal kingdom one.
The shamans.
Oh yeah, that's where it was. He was a shaman, but like not specifically a shaman, just knows some of their details in history. Kind of like me. So what he did was, he told me that's where the tribes live. I was like, be very specific. He said that's a very sacred land. People in there, you know, like this is animals history, right? So a bunch of tribes showed up, had a peace offering, started fighting with territory, and that's why the forest is so damn thick, and that why there's a wolf pack nearby. I told him what the hell is the wolf pack, because I was like wanted to know more about this nigga that just jumped my ass for no reason the other day. I was like, okay, so that guy, he's similar to Scar from The Lion King, where he's a guy who's trying to expand his territory and take over the kingdom. I was like, okay, this is some Mulan type shit. I was like, yeah, you ain't even kidding there, fam. And he told me, don't fight with that wolf, because even if you win, the rest of the pack will jump your ass. I was like, okay, then I just survived that. He was like, good for you, now get the fuck out of my house. It's like, okay, man, I'll leave you alone, but remember, I will go back to that sanctuary. And that was second to last time I've went there. So, yeah. That's my story. How much of it do you believe?
I don't know. I just gotta take your word of mouth. What you said.
Yeah, that's how it works. Because here's the thing: this story, even to me, sounds a little bit far fetched, but
Yeah.
it also sounds like it could very much happen. Like, remember, if you're calm enough and the wolf is an asshole, then you can just get out of there scot free. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know what you're
So,
saying. Yeah.
and also, as for me, people in our city, we're very connected to animals. So I wouldn't be surprised if the animals there had some sort of like treesy, or no, not treesy. I stopped using English. Uh, what is it called? No, it's not a treason. It's a pact with the humans to not harm each other. What is that called? Like a sacred pact or something? Forgot the name of the script.
Yeah. I
I don't
don't
know.
know the name either.
Yeah, the peace pack or something. Pack. You know the thing that vampires and werewolves have? I forgot what it's called. A truce. Yeah, a truce. Yeah, it had a truce pact or truce contract with the humans. Okay, so that's my story. Before we leave, right? Because it's been like give or take 2 hours, right?
Yeah.
We either play Would You Rather one final time, just for fun, right, for the viewers,
Yeah.
or we play World of Warframe or Infinity War, whatever the hell
In
the card
Infinity
game is called.
Wars. Okay.
Yeah, do you want to play a match?
Yeah, I do actually. Let
Okay.
me. I don't know if it's gonna stream well, but we'll see.
I mean, I'll try to get the game. I already have it, but like, I'll try to run it. If it doesn't run and it glitches, then you know why.
Yeah, if it doesn't work, we may just stop the stream and maybe record it off stream for better performance.
True.
That might be a good thing to do.
How about this? How about this?
Okay.
We'll try it, right? If it doesn't work, right? We'll play
Yeah.
Would You Rather. We'll play
Okay.
Would You Rather instead, like 15 minutes, or to 20 minutes, and then after that, we'll cut it off, and then we'll have like a Sunday special where we actually just have a duel, me and you, for this.
A Sunday
that?
special.
Yeah, Sunday special.
We'll see. I don't know if I'll have the time, but we'll see.
Oh no, by Sunday special, I mean like we record this after the live stream and upload it on Sunday. We don't
Oh
have
yeah,
to
yeah. Okay. I was
wait
gonna say.
until Sunday.
I was gonna say. I think I might be busy with some things, but
Yeah, same here. I got my birthday tomorrow, my nigga. We already know it's gonna be lit.
yeah. Yeah. Birthday boy here.
That's the birthday boy.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm running this, and Steam just has to, take 2 hours to update, as Steam does.
Yeah. I'm loading up Steam at the moment as well.
Same here, man. This stuff, for me, it loads fast, but it still takes 2 hours to update.
All right. I'm going to take a quick break. Let me just tell you why. This is my urination proclamation, so I must take a break. Otherwise, I'm going to have a very uncomfortable time. So I'll be back in just a moment.